Get ready. Get set. It's time for the basement view. Hey, what's going on, folks? How's everybody? Man, Monday, March 31st. It's almost April. Man, golly, we're making it on through this year. It is literally March 31st. Hey, what's going on, Ronnie? How you doing? What's going on with you? How you been? You know, I think I may have actually fixed another one of them doggone problems I was having. Man, not seeing any buffering or nothing. How about that? So far, so good. Maybe I shouldn't have said shit. Let me knock on wood. How you doing today, though? Trying to stay warm. Yeah, you know what? That's bad, trying to stay warm on the last day of March. You know, we should be getting some of that nice warm weather we had about a week ago. You know? That's what we should be getting. Matter of fact, and ain't it funny that every time it warms up, it turns around and busts a big old storm on us, you know? It can't just get warm and be warm. We've had all 4 seasons. You ain't lying. You are not lying. By the way, it's the basement view. Hit that thumbs up for me. Subscribe. Hit that bell thing, and we see what happens. Yeah, we have all 4 seasons in one day. Sure. We'll have all 4 seasons in one day. That's how crazy it is here. Wow. So, I'm sure everybody's heard the latest. You know, all of this craziness about you know who talking about running for a 3rd term and how he can make that happen. Hey, James, what's going on? You know, everybody talking about him, talking about this 3rd term, and he was serious about it. Hey, Charles, glad you could make it, man. So, just so everybody know off the bat what I think about it, you know, I think that 3rd term stuff is just white noise, okay? I think the man is trying to get everybody to stop talking about how stupid his cabinet members were. See, one thing about it, this dude is a professional where it comes to communicating to keep the media thrown off. Okay, he knows how to throw the media off. Just send them down the road chasing some other bone. And I think that's what this 3rd term talk is all about. Say it doesn't mean he would win. He thinks he wouldn't have an opponent. Well, first of all, to even run for a 3rd term, he would have to have some mechanism for forcing. Now, we know the Republicans would love to do it. They would love to figure out a way to make it happen. The Democratic states would never do it. See, it is literally in the Constitution that he is not qualified to run anymore, period. So you would literally have to change the Constitution. The Republicans could write a law, but they'd have to write a law that would force Democratic states to go against the Constitution. So that ain't gonna happen. So he's literally, there's just, you know, J.D. Vance could run and win and then step aside and let him do it, something like that. But I think even then it says you cannot be the president, so you are, you get 2 bites at the apple. That's it. So I think that was just noise. That's just, hey, talk about this instead of this. Okay? Talk about this, not this. I think that's what it's about. And James, you're right. Don't be surprised. He'll come up with something. He'll try something. He'll figure something out. And he might just decide, I'm not leaving. He might just do that. He's that kind of guy. Hey, he's tried everything else. Why don't I just try not leaving? See what happens. See if anybody does anything. So, but he would literally, if he wanted to run again in some way, the Democratic states would have to put him on the ballot. And there's no way they're going to do it. So we know that's bull. So again, I think he's just saying that to keep people from talking about how stupid his cabinet was by having these war arrangement chats on their telephone. These war plan chats with a reporter on the telephone. I think this is to keep everybody from talking about that. He wants that to go away. See, understand something. We are talking about a guy who can't stand to have bad attention. He wants all his attention to be his way. So who's to say that old fool would live that long anyway? Hey, Charles, from your lips to God's ears. Man, who's to say? And let's say, now check this out. Now, this dude, what is he, 78 now? And will be 82 by the time he's out. Hey, I thought we wasn't doing 82-year-olds, I thought we wasn't doing 82-year-olds. I thought we had already made up our minds about that. So, that's just talk. That's just white noise. That's all that is. That's white noise to throw everybody off the track. Even with this Smithsonian thing, as a matter of fact, just so, here, I'm going to play this quick clip about the Smithsonian situation for those that have not heard about that. Hey, Vanessa, how you doing? Have not heard about the Smithsonian situation and this new executive order. Let me play this clip right quick. Wow. I just got a crazy message. Oh, this ain't good. What's going on? Just got this crazy message. It went away. All right. So anyway, let me run this clip right quick.
New reaction tonight after another bold move by President Trump, this time taking aim at the Smithsonian Institution. He says it's to restore truth and sanity to American history. Critics say he's trying to whitewash it. 7 News' Carl Willis tonight with both sides.
The Smithsonian Institution, the world's largest museum, education, and research complex, and a powerful draw for visitors like Talisha Bhatia.
There's the Indian Museum, the African American Museum, all the Smithsonian's. Yeah, it's unbelievable.
It's also the latest target of the Trump administration and the focus of an executive order that aims to remove what the administration considers anti-American ideology. Certain narratives on the country's racial history. Part of the executive order reads, quote, "Over the past decade, Americans have witnessed a concerted and widespread effort to rewrite our nation's history, replacing objective facts with a distorted narrative driven by ideology rather than truth." The order also seeks to remove recognition of the achievements of trans women in the American Women's History Museum.
I feel like that's overstepping their boundaries of what the government, because it should be open and equal to everybody.
The executive order specifically mentions the Smithsonian American Art Museum, as well as the National Museum for African American History and Culture, for having divisive race-centered ideology. And some say this is an attempt to erase history.
It really hurts your generation, because your history is who you are.
And more controversy over a separate executive order this week.
This is only the latest in a pattern of attacks on our ability to control our own affairs.
The order would create a surge of law enforcement in public areas, maximize immigration enforcement, and help DC's crime lab get its accreditation.
We have a lot of good things happening in our country.
Patrice Sultan with DC Justice Lab says this makes her feel unsafe.
I actually see it as quite dangerous to keep doubling down on policies we know have failed just to score political points with people who don't even live here.
Carl Willis, 7 News.
So, as we can see, he's up to his same old shenanigans. He's just doing stuff just to keep up mess. That's all. I think all of this is just to keep people from thinking about what a goof up they had the other day. Okay? That's what I think. So we'll see. And of course, he's going to target the African American History Museum, the Women's Museum. Of course he's going to target stuff like that. That's who he is. He's literally telling everybody in the world, hey, I am the racist that you thought I was. You know, that everybody that said I was a racist, you know, they're right. You know, this is, you know, just I had to let you know. You know, that's all this is. All of this is narcissistic. Look at what's going on over here. Smoke and mirrors. Don't watch what's going on over here. His cabinet members screwed up so bad that they just trying to sweep it under the rug. And he's just trying to make a lot of noise. So, and James, you said the only way he can be stopped is by taking over the Senate and the House. Well, hopefully, if we get to the House races and Senate races, the people will come out and vote. Hopefully that'll work. Again, I'm gonna put my little coins on him screwing up the economy so bad that his people want him out. You know, I'm still gonna put my coins on that. I feel like that's the best way out of this mess is that he destroy it so bad that he gets kicked out by his own people. Okay? That's where I'm putting my my money. You know, as far as people voting is concerned, man, you can't even count on people to vote these days. You can't count on people to vote. Even the ones that'll tell you, yeah, I'm getting ready to go out and vote, they'll be lying. They'll lie straight through their teeth, right to your face. Yeah, I'm headed down there right now to vote. And go have a sandwich and sit down. You know, no, go nowhere near the pole. That's just the way folks is, you know. Yeah, it is what it is. So, as far as all of this stuff that's going on, and hey, what, in 2 days, there's going to be more tariffs on cars and tariffs on everything. So, in 2 days, everything in the world going to have tariffs on it. So the prices of everything is going to go up within a month or two. And the price of everything is high already. You know, this guy said on day one, I'm going to work to bring prices down. Ain't that what he said? That's what I heard him say. On day one, I'm going to be working to bring prices down. And he's not bringing prices down. So, and the Dems, you know, they just in a bad position right now. They got no real fight. The only fight they got is to let him have everything he wants, let him destroy it, just like I was just saying. So I don't look for the Dems to bail nobody out. Matter of fact, hopefully they learned a lesson with this last fiasco. So that's where we are. So just to reiterate where I'm at on this, I'm gonna let's have a word from this gentleman right here.
I'm Vic Myers. Welcome to the Resistance. MAGA, I need you to help me out with something here, okay? You hired him. You were the guys, brought him in for an interview, and you looked over his resume and you said, well, you know, Donald, your past employment record with us isn't that great. I mean, there's the whole giving away all those tax breaks to billionaires the last time. And let's see. Well, there's this thing about all these people who kicked the bucket because you said that COVID was fake. That's not real good. Well, and then there's this little thing called January 6th. You know, your record's not that great. But you know what, Donald? We're going to give you another shot because we see something in you. We believe that you're going to work for us, that you're going to go out there and do a fine job. That's what you said. You guys hired him. And now he's not doing the job. I mean, you said that he doesn't believe in Project 2025, but if you look at this tracker, I mean, it's well underway. So, you know, he lied to you in his job interview. That seems to be okay with you. And then when it comes to actually doing the job, well, he's got some billionaire guy who, you know, I don't know that he's addicted to Adderall, but people are saying, that's how it works, right? People are saying that he is. And he's out there firing veterans and taking away their medical care and threatening to end Social Security and Medicaid, and he's doing all this stuff, and the judges are saying, oh, you can't do that, dude, you don't have the authority. And then on the national defense part, I mean, come on. These guys having their top secret classified information conversations on a freaking Signal app? Really? I mean, come on. And while they're doing this, while the muskrat is out there breaking all kinds of laws and stuff, firing people, and while his totally incompetent Whiskey Pete and Vladimina Gabbard and all those other ones, while they're violating the laws by having these top secret conversations and including reporters, while they're doing all that, what's your boy Donald doing? He's golfing. And you can tell that by this tracker that tracks all of his golf trips and how much it's costing. So I guess, Maga, all I got left to say is, you hired him, you fire him. Good day.
Yeah. My opinion exactly. I couldn't agree more. I couldn't agree more. Let him screw it up so bad that they fire him. Okay? Now that's my recommendation. That's my recommendation right there. This is their mess to clean up. Let them clean it up. Okay, this is their turd. Let them pick it up. So, there. You know, now if any of you got a better idea, put it out there. I'd be glad to, I'd be glad to consider it. If you got something better, let me know. I'm dying to know. Because for me, and as far as all of this other stuff with the DEI, the Smithsonian, the I'ma Run Again, I've been hearing they talking about, well, as a matter of fact, he signed the executive order where you can discriminate in your hiring practices as a government contractor. If you have contracts with the government, you do not have to have any kind of DEI programs. You can discriminate who you hire. So all of that stuff is simply, well, I might as well go ahead and show everybody who I really am. You know, for those that said I'm not a racist, well, jig is up now. So, but for all of us that knew it, there's no revelation there. And I hear they've been talking about starting segregation again. Well, cool with me. Cool. Let's face it. Hey, I don't see where segregation ever stopped. Every neighborhood that a black person run into, they leave. So it's already still segregated. And they don't play well with others anyway. So we ain't got no problem with that. Now it's funny though. You would have them that would talk about segregation, but mighty funny, they always riding around in the neighborhood with their flags and their uniforms and everything and their pickup trucks. Stay in your neighborhood with all that shit. But they always want to ride into the black community and do dirt in the black community. I tell you what, I'm waiting for the day that pickup truck pull up in the black community and it get downright ugly. I'm waiting for that day. It's gonna come one day. One day they're gonna ride into the right neighborhood and it's gonna be on and cracking. But I guess until then, we'll see. So anyway, that's my take on all of this stuff going on today. Okay? All of this stuff that's happening today, let's drop it. Let's this dude destroy it all. And let his people deal with the mess. Okay? So, Mel Gibson was in the news recently too. Did anybody hear that a pardon attorney got fired from this Department of Justice because she would not put Mel Gibson's name on a list to be pardoned by Trump? Now, for anybody that don't know, Mel Gibson pleaded guilty to some assault charges. He was, he don't play nice with women, okay? He get drunk and act a fool. So he pled guilty. Well, they took his guns from him, okay? Now, some people, if you don't know them, you don't really know what kind of person they are. I don't know what kind of person Mel Gibson is, but I know he pled guilty, and I know they took his guns from him. But this is the Mel Gibson that they took the guns from.
I look at all sorts of stuff like that, like, the icebergs melting and the water overflowing.
It's not.
Ever have a glass full of ice and watched it melt? Did you ever see the glass flow over?
No.
It takes up less room,
Yeah.
Here, look, here, look. Here's a glass of ice water. Hey, that ice isn't making the water overflow because it's already in the water. But imagine there's a whole bunch of other ice that's not in the water. It's on the land. You know, the part where the water isn't. And then when temperatures rise and the land ice melts enough to fall in, oh, it's everywhere! It's everywhere! Do you understand?
Last Friday night, the Justice Department abruptly fired the U.S. pardon attorney. That's the official who is tasked with helping presidents with their pardon power. And tonight, Liz Oyer says she lost her job because she refused to recommend that Mel Gibson be allowed to buy a gun again. The actor and a backer of the president's lost that gun right after he pled no contest to a domestic violence charge back in 2011. Before Oyer was fired, she had been named to a working group within the Justice Department to determine whether people convicted of certain crimes should have their gun rights and their right to buy one restored. Under federal law, someone who is convicted of a crime like domestic violence, even if it's a misdemeanor state charge, is prohibited from buying or owning a handgun. And Liz Oyer is my source tonight, and it's great to have you here. You believe that you were fired because you did not recommend Mel Gibson have this ability restored. Why do you believe that?
She got fired for not putting him on a list. I mean, if a guy should not have a gun, he shouldn't have a gun. If he get drunk, beat up women, act a fool, he shouldn't have a gun. But under this criminal that we got in the White House, under his rules, it's okay. Wow, I just seen it's buffering again. Wonder what just happened. And here I thought I had that problem fixed. And I'm looking at all the numbers and the numbers looking good. And it turned around and buffered again. Don't know why that happened. Oh well. Anyway, so Mel Gibson, and I thought he was a smarter guy, but that thing on Joe Rogan, with if you ever had a glass of ice. Now they were talking about climate change, okay? And here we got people still don't believe the climate is changing. You got storms that's tearing up everything now. And have we always had storms? Yes, we've always had storms. We did not have warm weather in Indiana and blizzards in Houston, Texas, Dallas, Texas, Houston, Texas, blizzards and snow. So there is climate change. We do understand that. But we still got people like Mel Gibson, Joe Rogan, and they got millions of followers, and these people want to have guns. That's a problem. That's a problem. And they will literally fire an attorney because she won't put his name on the list. Sad, people. It's sad. This is just plain sad. And I'm surprised right now, just on the gun tip, I'm surprised that it ain't just the wild, wild west going on out there right now, because I guess every state done got rid of their gun laws. Well, at least all the Republican states. All of them done got rid of their gun laws. So everybody running around with guns. And hey, I'm in a Republican state. So you can guarantee everybody out there on the street got a gun. Do we want to call that safe? But hey, who am I? Who am I? Just long as me and you stay safe, right? Long as we stay safe. And I'm going to take this opportunity again to tell you that if I were you, I would invest in some sort of body armor. Again, the stuff is soft now. You can put it under your clothes. It's relatively inexpensive. So I would advise everybody investing a little bit. So that's just me. Is anybody planning on buying a car in the near future? Just a quick question. Just curious. Any one of you out there thinking of buying a car? Because I was wondering what I don't even know what the car prices are today. I ain't even looked at no cars, nor have I looked at the interest rates. Have anybody been looking? Just curious. Guess not. Nobody said yeah. Okay. I guess everybody gonna hang on to the jalopy they got. Okay. That's good. Me too. So I guess it's gonna be interesting in the months to come. We got, the price is gonna be sky high in the months to come. Everybody running around with guns. People gonna be mad. It's gonna get kind of interesting. And hey, the weather's warming up. And I tell you what, I was pleased the other day when I sat there and thought about the fact that it was like 8-ish o'clock and not completely dark yet. It was like 8 in the evening and not completely dark. Man, talk about happy. So these folks gonna be out here. They're gonna be out here. They're gonna be hot. So anyway, and I still think a lot of speaking of the Trump people, I just had this thought. It just clicked. Even those that are starting to get the picture. Just had this thought. Even those are starting to get the picture. They getting the picture for the wrong reason. They literally getting upset because they didn't realize they were included in the fraud, waste, and abuse. They did not know that they were part of the fraud, waste, and abuse that these people plan to get rid of. They thought they was cool with it being somebody else. Long as it was somebody else, they was happy with it. You know, it's going to take some people, it takes something devastating for them to finally get the message. You know, finally dig deep and soul search and find out how messed up you are. You know, to finally say, I voted for this guy. I voted for this man because he said he was going to do this to them. He was going to do that to them. I voted for this man and he's doing this to me. He's doing this to me. They still don't get it. You are them. You are them to him. They still don't get it. And you know, some of them never will. Some of them are. Check this out.
More fallout from the cuts by Elon Musk and his Doge team. President Trump got more than 70% of the vote in Wood County, West Virginia last November. But some people who find their federal jobs in limbo now say they regret supporting him. Randy Kay has more.
This flag used to hang there.
This was the flag Jennifer Piggott proudly hung outside her home during campaign 2024.
We had the flag. I had the shirt. I was a MAGA junkie.
A MAGA junkie who thought her government job would be safe with Donald Trump in office. She was wrong.
I cried. It's scary, you know, it's a really scary thing. And I was embarrassed. He's a good boy.
Piggott was abruptly fired last month from the Treasury Department's Bureau of Fiscal Service, based here in Parkersburg, West Virginia. The reason given for the firings of 125 probationary employees at the Bureau? Poor performance.
I had my last review on the 31st of January, and I had the highest rating that you can get on a review, less than 21 days before I was terminated for my performance.
You voted for Donald Trump.
I did.
Do you regret that vote?
Yes, I do. To cut the knees out of the working class Americans just doesn't make sense to me. I expected more from President Donald Trump.
Since speaking out, Pigott says she's received death threats and her home has been egged. This woman asked us not to show her face for fear of retribution. She recently retired from the Bureau of Fiscal Service because she was afraid of losing her health insurance if she was fired. She also voted for Trump. Would you still have supported him?
I'm not sure that I would have. The way that it's been done, I'm for balancing the budget, that type of thing, but not in this context. It's just not right.
Earlier this month, a federal judge ordered half a dozen federal agencies to immediately offer thousands of probationary employees their jobs back. But this week, the Trump administration asked the Supreme Court to put that judge's ruling on hold and stop those employees from returning to work.
Now, here's a guy. This guy has been ordered to let him back to work, and he's doing everything in his power not to. And did you see the woman who didn't want her face shown? She says, I'm not sure I would have voted for him. You know, I'm for cutting the budget, but not like this. Well, what did you hear him say? Hello. You know, we all heard what he said he was going to do. Was it Fox News? Of course it was. All they listened to is Fox News. All they listened to is Newsmax, OAN, what is that, One America News, Christian Broadcasting Network, Moody Radio. All it tells them, and when I say Moody, I mean Moody, the Christian Broadcasting thing, and not Moody, the stock rating company. That's why it's important for them to get hurt. See, a lot of people don't want to say, let them get hurt. Let them get hurt and get hurt real bad. Because sometimes it takes a disaster to wake a person up. It has to be something devastating. Like the young lady who took the Trump flag down. You know, she said she cried. You know, sometimes you gotta cry to find out. Sometimes you gotta cry to understand. And they said she been getting attacks that she didn't spoke up. She been getting eggs thrown at the house and everything. See, I mean, the people that you associated yourself with are treating you this way now. The people that she associated herself with are egging her house and threatening her and her folks. These the people you side with? Hey, if these are the people you side with, and then there's those that don't want their face shown because they know the people they side with. Now, imagine being a Trump supporter and scared to say, oh, I understand now. I understand what a lousy person he is, but you can't say it because you know in your heart of hearts how the other Trump supporters are and that they will turn on you. If you know this, why didn't you think of that while you was taking that side? If you know these are the kind of people that will turn on you, why would you want to be one of them? I don't get it. If you understand, let me know, because I don't know. I say it should be rough. It should be rough on them. Let it all come tumbling down. This country need a good cleaning anyway. The underbelly is rotten. It needs a good cleaning. So, that's my take on that. Tell y'all what, one of these days, I'm going to have some good news. One of these days. Don't know what day it is, but trust me, it's going to be some good news coming on this doggone platform. Got a little bit of good news right now. Don't know if anybody heard this today, but France's version of Donald Trump, a female by the name of Marine Le Pen. She is France's, the country, their version of Donald Trump. And she's been trying her best to get to be president. Well, apparently she got busted messing up the church money. Okay? She got busted messing with the campaign money. And a court convicted her today and sentenced her to not being allowed to hold any public office. So one of them so-called Trumps just went down the toilet. Now, she promised she gonna appeal, but from what I understand, that could take years in France. So there is a bit of good news today. At least France's version of Trump is down the toilet. Okay? So, but one of these days, I'm going to be able to come on here and have some really, really good news. Well, I thought that was good news. Yeah. My bad if it wasn't great news. Hey, Charles, I'll have some one of these days, okay? I'm going to have some good stuff to talk about because, let's face it, with this administration that's in there now, it's going to be bad news every day. We already know that. We've discussed that. We already know. With this administration, there's going to be bad news every day. Okay? So, one of these days, I'm going to go and find some good shit, just so we'll have some good shit to discuss. Something that's uplifting. So, that's my word. I'm going to find it and I'm going to bring it out here. Okay? So, but I thought that was pretty good, though. Their version of, she is straight up racist. She was bringing everything to the table that Donald Trump was bringing to the table. And hey, just to prove that she got busted for fucking up the money. So that just goes to tell you, she's a crook just like him. So she went down. Marine Le Pen. So we probably won't be, because I was kind of nervous. Because remember, we got the racists that were trying to get in Germany They just beat them back. They're trying to get in the UK, and I think they've beaten them back. And Italy is literally dealing with Mussolini's great-granddaughter. Who knew? You know what? I would have thought if Mussolini was anywhere in my blood, the people would reject that automatically. Same way with somebody with the last name Hitler. You know, you would think that person probably shouldn't run for any political office. You know? But hey, this is 2025, and you just never know. You just never know. So, anyway, I'm going to leave it at that. As far as the headlines are concerned, I think most of the stuff that we're hearing today is just noise to take our minds off of what screw-ups this man has hired. I think that's what all this noise is today. Okay? Let's just see what happens tomorrow. All right? So on that note, I'm going to call it good. I want all y'all to take it easy. Tomorrow, go out and make it a great day. Stay safe. And think about getting that body armor and wearing it on a regular basis. All right? Y'all take it easy.